Our next speaker is Mr. Ramesh, the founder and managing director of Kaynes Technologies. Everyone, please put your hands together and welcome Ramesh ji on stage. Thank you. So sorry.
Good afternoon. I am Ramesh Kannan. I am the managing director of Kaynes Technology. My sincere thanks to Team ValueQuest led by Ravi ji and Samir ji for having me here. I'll be talking about the manufacturing imperative facing us and our required positioning in the world arena from that perspective. Then I would like to take you all through the ESDM sector and more specifically about our company, and finally close with some lessons learned. See, on this slide, the democratic dividend from being a liability to an asset is what we are trying to pull. We have a lot of skilled manpower and 20% of all youth in this world live in India. 60% of Indian population is working age. We can take advantage of lower wage structures and living cost. When it comes to number of SMEs, we are having a lot of SMEs, but we are not having required SMEs in such a way that they need technology upgradation, they need financial assistance. All of them are struggling. So we need to address all these issues. And domestic demand have an opportunity to develop scales and capacities, and it is evidenced by the following sectors. So what we need to do is we need to look at how we can invest on R&D and how we can have private sector participation in R&D too. And it is critical for our nation's growth and freedom because manufacturing investment leads to investable surpluses and can further fuel R&D investment. This will accelerate innovation, which will lead to the further creation of value and then further invest and so on. And this is how we have built our company. Currently, our government current motto is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. Is truly a global, sustainable model of development and very much applicable to India manufacturing renaissance. In this slide, there are some challenges. If you look at our Indian workforces versus China, we are better on availability 3 times. We are better on wages 3 times lower, but we are much worse on productivity. So we need to work on improving our productivity. We are somewhere 20% and they are at 5 times better in productivity. We have MSMEs in surplus. We have more ITIs, but we are having old syllabuses. So these are all things we need to change. Our startups only define aspiration, but they have to start performing and generating employment. While the intent is to have harmonious development, there are sharp differences among states in their development status too. Finally, India is in a takeoff stage. As per WWR model of Rostow model, we have stayed far too long in the takeoff stage. Here we need to position ourselves as a great place to make. If you see intellectual property protection, we are much better than China. Ease of setting up of new factories is where we need to work. Availability of capable and scalable resources we need to work. We have a short window period to initiate change in a global habit. Hit the road running. Risk-taking is most important, but it should be done cautiously. Do what it takes for global customers to return to India repeatedly and do it better. When opportunities galore, government has created an internal environment. So we should look for partnership, perform and prosper, offer quick technology transfer and gap building. Provide same or better economic incentives to shift manufacturing to India. And always remember that there are others too, like East Europe, South Asia, Mexico. We should not bound to habits of past and not worried about future. Tap the global talent pool, the open innovation paradigm, and the modernize, digitize, and improvise. We should remain in the power of now. What we are all lacking is we are all not looking at how to bring the global talent pool. In this slide, I would like to take an example of ESDM sector where our company Kaynes Technology operates. This sector has come of age and is expected to grow very rapidly on the back of various factors, and we discussed earlier. We need to work on import substitution, increase penetration of electronics, policy of anywhere but China, or exit China by many global companies from the West. However, we are on a roller coaster ride. With a sustainable growth in the real GDP of India, greater than 7%, we are in for some exciting time in the manufacturing industries. See, this is a report given by Frost and Sullivan. Here he talks about $1 trillion by 2025, backed by fast-growing electronic market. ESDM market is poised to grow from 1,000 billion to 6,000 billion from 21 to 26. And the growth rate is projected to be 30 to 70%. It is pertinent to note that we are present in 8 out of the 9 verticals in this sector, which gives us the ability to scale. This I am comparing with Kaynes. We are into 8 verticals out of the 9 verticals which he has mentioned here. The fundamental growth is driven by import substitution, Atmanirbhar Bharat, growing organic electronics demand, China plus one, and supply chain realignment, to name a few. I founded this company in 1988 after completing my BE out of NIE Mysore. At the nascent stages of our company, we have been fortunate to be qualified as a vendor to L&T and Wipro, which laid down one of the key foundations of the company in establishing strong quality and process standards and providing services with complex PCB assemblies. In the first decade of our operations, we set up our manufacturing practices, learning how to excel in manufacturing of electronic assembly. We probably were the only company in this space who went for an ISO certification as early as 1995. My wife, Savita, joined our organization in 1995, and we together worked in the organization with Savita looking after internal-facing processes and I looking after external-facing processes. I've always been blessed in having a team members who are very highly experienced and qualified, and over several decades' time, they have been with the company. We built the organization that you see today. Here, I wanted to mention a culture is what we need to build in an organization. And that is what the difference we make with our peers. The second decade of our organization development and dedicated towards making our company a true ESDM company by setting up engineering systems, making banking finance arrangements, and establishing supply chain network. On the customer front, during the second decade, we added manufacturing of medical devices, and we qualified FDA approval too. Now the company is working in diversified domains such as industrial, IT, railway signaling, medical, and defense electronics. Our European entity was also set up during this time. We added 3 facility locations in the second decade. The third decade was the decade of expansion. We expanded our presence in the newer verticals such as automotive electronics, electrical vehicles, non-commodity consumer electronics, and Internet of Things. We established relationship with large number of clients, which now has matured into a long-standing relationship and yield great growth, organic growth in business. We have set up new facilities in Mysore, Manasar, and now in Chamarajanagar too. In the last decade or so, we developed our offering in ODM and industrial IoT solution, which are expected to grow well in the coming years. We set up some of the key subsidiary focusing on different aspects of business. Finally, as one of the key milestone of success, our company is listed in NSE and BSE in November 22. This slide provides a snapshot of our business. We are a company in OEM, ODM, and IoT solution. We are well-diversified company with working on 6 different business verticals, having on board over 300 plus customers with an average relationship length of about 8 years. I am happy to say that our first customer are still our valued customer. We have exported to over 24 countries and have over 50 export clients. Our company has 12 global quality certification and probably the most number that anyone has in our entire industry. There are great industry tailwinds resulting in consistent and substantial growth in our order book, which stands at 25,000 million INR as of December 22, and it is currently growing at 1,500 million INR every month. Our profitability number are sustainably growing over time, presently an EBITDA of upward of 14%, resulting in a PAT of greater than 8% and growing. The ROC stood at 24+%. Our manufacturing expertise consists of our ability to do high mix, high tech, high complexity, high criticality electronic design and manufacturing. Low to medium to high volume manufacturing. We have capability to handle different types of services profitably. This is a unique system which we have developed in our company. Every team leader is responsible for his business, and that is how we built our profitability into our business. Our company has handled wide scope in ESDM space, and therefore it is easier to onboard new business and technology transfers, and in turn scale the company. As a foundation, our system and process works efficiently. All functions are covered under our evolved and cloud-based ERP system. Supply chain, engineering, operations, commercial, finance, all are integrated. We have 12 global systems also integrated into our ERP system. We have had the privilege of being audited and approved by several global customers across different geographies. We have depth in design and technical expertise with a full complement of skills for own design and manufacture in different industry sector and high-tech manufacturing support. Additional diversification into IoT solutions has added a good potential for earning more profits. We have diversified business with capabilities across industry verticals and domains. This is proven over decades of relationship with global customers. As a result, we have access to several global clients for scaling up. As we develop our business, we have made big wins in newer segments such as industrial, medical, and green energy and IT products. The key performance metrics and parameters for our company can be seen in this slide. We have shortly crossed the major milestone of 10,000 million INR. Our revenues are growing at a brisk pace, and based on the order book, we can expect it to go towards the next milestone in business, that is 20,000 million INR in FY24. We as a company believe that any business growth must also correspondingly grow the profit in a sustainable way. Our EBITDA stood at 14.31 as on 9 months period for FY23 and is growing further. The PAT has grown beyond 7% and is expected to grow further. On return of capital employed stood at 24.44 in the financial year FY22. Our business has transformed in the last 3 years or so on the back of all the hard work and development done over more than 3 decades. We are now experiencing the pleasant challenge of highly scaled up of execution. Just in order to benchmark the quality of our performance, please see the comparison on the key metrics with some of the peer group companies in electronic manufacturing. This is based on published records in the public domain. Over the last 3 fiscal year, 3 quarters considered, Kaynes has shown sustained improvement in profitability as seen in PAT and EBITDA percentage and also in ROCE. Our company's performance is distinctive because there is a smart increasing trend of margin and ROCE. The trends are sustainable because of diversified business. There is sustained order book month on month at 1,500 billion rupees getting added. High CAGR forecasted for ESDM company too in the report. This is a very interesting slide where each vertical, what we do. In automotive, we are more concentrating on safety level equipments. Industrial, we are concentrating on IoT based so that we'll have some value add. Aerospace and defense on the air data sensor, mission critical products, thermal imaging systems and communication electronics. On medical, we do ventilators, endoscopy cart, data loggers, glucometer, controller, dental care equipments, protein and chemical analyzer too. In railways, we are mainly in the signaling sector. We do for all the large players. In whole India, we are one company who does 90% of the India's signaling electronics. IoT and IT, we are into sensor, we are into PLCC and IoT gateways, industrial product. We also have a platform. We are a wide format manufacturer with service offering entire customer value chain. These are our independent directors. We have been fortunate to get on board several illustrious people as independent directors. We have all decades of work experience in large listed companies such as Tata Group, TVS Group, Bell, Ashok Leyland, etc. And each of them bring their own specialization to the board in a key area such that the organization can benefit from their guidance and oversight. These are the lessons which we have learned. This is my personal view. You all will be very much familiar with these ideas of your own businesses, but every story has a different theme, and these are some of my learnings. In our case, especially the people have been a key partner in our progress, and company has recognized this by covering one of the largest number of people. About 485 people are given ESOP 1, which is approximately 25% of the total headcount. Our business development and growth is a story how we can control our fears and uncertainties and minimize the risk and work relentlessly so that we can harness and scale up the hidden value in a sustainable way for ourselves and add value to our customers in a unique way. My sincere thanks you all for patiently listening on my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any question.